Alright, I'm Dylan. This is gonna be my first YouTube video. Learning how to edit and shit. This is Reggie. So pretty much, this video is just gonna be a run through of what we do on the farm, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, this YouTube channel is gonna be fun. It's gonna be the most random shit ever. It's gonna be me building crap. It's gonna be me working. There's gonna be some random shit on it. So basically, in this episode, I'm just gonna be talking about sheep, rocks, clearing offset, technology, just random crap. Just kind of introducing you guys to the farm and what we do on it and why we do it, you know? Anyway, I'll jump into the rocks first and then, yeah. So the rocks have been sitting here for over a couple million years now. And over this entire time, its destiny has always been to be dug up by us and then shipped off and turned into roads. So the quarry and the rock picking also improves the land for other agricultural uses. So once we're done quarrying it, we can plant trees there, and then I'll go on about this later, but then we can get carbon credits for it, and yeah, so on and so forth. And I'll show you a video of the quarry now. So our land is actually so good for doing this quarrying stuff on, because millions of years ago, when the rocks were laid down, we were actually on a lake. It was called Lake Bunganya. So just because we had that water sitting there, our rocks were 2 meters deep, which is way deeper than normal, and they're a lot harder. So it's great for roads and all sorts of things. Sorry about the wind in the next clip. Bought some new mics and a new camera to try solve this problem so I can actually film out in the paddock without having to worry about wind. Alright, well this is our stone picker, our secondary one. Our main one is currently away on business right now. But this is pretty much it. So over here, this is how it works. So you'll have it hooked up to the tractor. So you have that, and then you have a trailer, and then you have the tractor, and it pulls it along. These will catch the rocks and send them up there, and then onto this, what do you call it? Big wheel, yeah, big wheel. Goes up the big wheel, just goes ring, ding, ding, up, and then it goes on the excavator, and it goes straight up, and then it will go into a tractor, into a trailer.
If you have a look at this big wheel, this was invented by a man over on the Yorta Peninsula in South Australia, and when he was trying to work the concept of the whole thing out, he would sit there at night with a saucer and some peas after he'd had his tea, and he was turning this saucer with the peas on it to see what angle he had to get that to, so that one day would stay on there long enough to get up there to fall off into the water. So that's how he invented that.
So the rocks that we get from our topsoil is good beaching rocks, so it's good for dams and other sort of things like that. And the stuff that comes out of the quarry is more for industrial size things like roads and that sort of shit. So we've currently got a tractor away in Manham working on a contract basis. So pretty much we charge $150 an hour, get rid of the rocks in your paddock for you. So we can charge so little just because it's just us. There's no $1 million equipment. It's just us. We go there, do it, bang, that's it, right? And we try and keep the costs as low as we can just to keep it accessible to people. So we don't need a permit to do it just because we're not doing it on an industrial scale and it's only farm machinery. It's not like we're doing anything crazy. So we currently have 700 tons of rock sitting there waiting, and we're gonna stack up a bunch of it and then sell it off when the price is right. We're not just going to sell it when it's cheap. We're going to wait until the price is right, which is about $5 a ton for us, right? Which is pretty good compared to what the quarry's selling it for, which could be like $17 a ton. So basically, once we're done with one of our paddocks, we'll have 10 to 15,000 tons sitting there waiting. So it's pretty good margins if you ask me. So another thing we do, which is a bit more complicated, it's called carbon sequestration. I barely understand it, So one day I'll get my brother and my dad to do a full proper video on it, but I'm gonna simplify it down very simple for us. So basically, just imagine a company is emitting 3 points of carbon, right? Now us, Matthews, have the farm, so we put 3 points into the soil. The company then buys the points off of us, so then their points are null and then our points are in the soil. So these are called points or accus, right? So pretty much we will just grow as many as we possibly can and then we sell them to the companies. Now people want to do this, like the companies want to do this because then they can say they have no carbon emissions. So relating to that, we've been doing tests on couch grass recently. So basically we test the soil carbon next to where the couch grass is, and then we test it where the couch grass is, right? And then check the percentage difference in the soil, right? So couch grass has been a bastard for wheat growers forever, right? It's hard to get rid of and it spreads like buggery. So my dad was fighting it for a long time until he finally thought, well, once we started doing this carbon sequestration stuff, he thought, couch grass, it doesn't die. It won't die in a drought. It just won't. It's crazy. It's good for grazing, which is exactly what we do. And it used to be really bad for wheat growers, right? And it still is, but we're not wheat growers anymore. So I'll show a video of the couch grass now. Now with our sheep, so recently we've just bought 850. So we bought about 270 doonies. I don't know if that's right how you say it, but that's how I've been taught. Doonies. So they're like, they've got good meat. They put out a good lamb, but their wool is just in the middle. Like it's not a good merino type wool, but it's just in the middle, right? And then we've got about 550 to 600 just South Australian merinos. So all these sheep, they're scanned in, so they've all got a lamb in their tummy. So this year we've got 1,000 lambs coming because I'm pretty sure we had about 130% lambing rate. Like some of them had twins, you know. But you always got to count for some dying in labour and all that sort of stuff. So we're gonna get about 1,000 lambs hopefully. And basically our duties with the sheep are pretty much just making sure they've got food and clean water and all that sort of stuff. And I'll show a video of us cleaning a trough. That's piss easy, that's just something you got to do. And we also jet them, so that's just making sure they don't get fly blown and fleas and all that sort of stuff, just gets rid of that. So you do that about every 6 months or so. And then when the lambs come out, you got to mark them. So basically you get a rubber ring and they go on the tails and the bowls, and then they will fall off. And so we take the tails off because if you leave them on, they're going to get fly blown and die. So like if you're thinking, oh, that's bloody horrible, you know, why would you do that to a little tiny lamb? They're going to die if we don't do it, right? They can deal with a bit of lost circulation in their tail and they just fall off. It's painless. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You just got to make sure they got food, water. You got to do that to the lambs. You got to give them a vaccination. But yeah, and I'll go way more in depth about this lamb marking when the time comes, which will be in a couple months. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So we empty out the water. And give it a good clean. So something else we've been working on is the clearing offset. So basically, to put it in very simple terms, say we have 1,000 trees on our land, and then we have a company that wants to tear down 1,000 trees. They got to buy 1,000 trees from us so they can tear down 1,000 trees. And then we pretty much say, we'll look after the trees and we'll keep the weeds away from the trees and we will make sure they don't die, pretty much. And that's it for the clearing offset. It's very simple and it's very good. And so something that's completely changed the way of life at the farm for me and my dad is this little drone. I've only crashed it once, and it only cost $250 to fix, and the fixing process is really weird. Like DJI, they don't sell parts, so I did this deal. I forget who it's called, but his name was Paul, and pretty much you send the drone to him, and then he sends it to DJI, and then you get a completely new drone for free. Well, not for free. You got to pay for whatever you broke. So the repair policy is really good on it. Anyway, so what we do with it, we muster, pretty much. We muster sheep with it. It's very good because it goes woo, woo, woo. So sheep are very scared of it, right? Unless they're like by themselves. If they're by themselves, they don't give a shit about it. But in big groups, it's great. So we just got to the farm, right? We got to do stuff around the shed just to prepare for some landmarking, say, right? And Dad's like, oh, Dylan, just fly the drone up, go do that, right? And then by the time they're done setting up, I've already got the sheep in the first 50 acres, which is fantastic. So yeah, the drone, fantastic. And something else we've been doing with technology is we've had quite a few people stealing from us. So most recently, we've put in some extensive security cameras, some remote viewing. So we've gotten all over that. So we've got cameras all over the place now. So yeah, if you're thinking for stealing from us, think twice, because you're not going to get away with it. We've got cameras everywhere. Yes, that's my first episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it, But yeah, catch you in the next one.
These are, I reckon, these chops right here are one of, if not the best chops I've ever had in my life.
Subscribe to this channel, but smash that like button.